Late to start the program, but I would like to say, welcome, Secretary of State, Mr. White. We're honored to have you here, and thank you for welcoming us at your location, your foundation. And as well, all of you guests who join us on this very special day, thank you for being here with us. And all of you in Zoom, I cannot see you today, but I can feel you, so super grateful also that you're here today. Now, I am going to convene the 5,610th meeting of the Rotary Club of Chicago. We've been counting them since 1905, for those of you who are guests and don't know. And we meet only once a week, so it's been a long time. So perhaps we can hear the bell, the electronic bell ring. Did it? Okay. Super. So, okay, for all of you who are here, our guests here on Zoom, I am Marga Hugo, the president of the Rotary Club of Chicago. All right. Now, as you know, we have our guest of honor is Mr. Jesse White, and I'm going to let past District Governor Osei introduce Mr. White. Osei, come to the microphone.
Good afternoon. Oh, come on, we're in Jesse White's house. Good afternoon. All right, thank you so much, President Marga. It is truly my honor and a pleasure to stand here before you to introduce this great individual. Secretary Jesse White, I'm not gonna go through his bio, you can read his bio, but I can tell you that since I've encountered him through Rotary, I've been amazed. I've heard the stories. Actually, my wife has a picture of her getting an award from Secretary White years ago, not so long ago. I don't want to date him, but he's always been an icon in our community, in the African American community here in Chicago with the Jesse White Tumblers, and then of course serving our state as different walks of life, if you will, in the political arena, and as now we know, the longest serving Secretary of State in this state. And I just want to say that one of the things that has stood out for me as a Rotarian, as a black man in Chicago, as a member of this great organization, his example. He has served as a model. He is what I would say the epitome actually of a Rotarian. He is a servant leader. He doesn't just talk about, say, what you should do and how you should get out there. He's actually demonstrated that through his life. I actually get a little nervous when I see Secretary White at settings like this, because usually he's jumping right in and not just, I'll say, sitting down and chilling like my 6-year-old talked about, right? He's not usually sitting and chilling. He's usually headstrong in. Those of you all who have worked with the trunk party that he has been sponsoring, now we're on our 8th year, is that right, Secretary White? Our 8th year this year? He is always in the middle of things. He's actually out there working with the Tumblers when they do their presentations. He's actually bending down and having these young people jump over him. He's moving around the, what do you call those, the mats. And then I remember one year, we finished up our trunk party, and I was driving home, driving on the south side, and I said, hey, there's a Jesse White Tumbler van. Check that out. Who? Okay, and I just drive along, and guess who's driving the van? Secretary Jesse White. And I'm like, okay, why are you driving the van? Okay, but anyway, but that's the type of leader Secretary White is. He leads by example. He is the model of what it means, again, to be a servant leader. And in my mind, again, he is the epitome. He is the quintessential Rotarian. And I know he's a member of Rotary Club of Chicago. I would like to maybe probably entice my club to also give him an honorary membership of our club, lifetime, because again, he exemplifies what we stand for as Rotarians, as service above self. And so I can't say any more about Secretary White outside of saying, thank you so much, sir. You are an honor to be in your presence, and I really aspire to be like you when I grew up. So I don't know what else I need to say, Marga. And for the folks at home, this room is full of love. We are here at the Jesse White Center over at, 412 West Chicago Avenue. This place is a testament to him. Also, if you haven't checked it out, check it out online. There's the Jesse White Learning Center in Hazel Crest that Yvonne Jones told us there was an event going on. I'm thinking it's going to be this little building in Hazel Crest, and it's a massive school, kindergarten through 8th grade, in the name of Jesse White. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, so just thank you so much, and Marga's giving the cutoff, and let's move on. All right.
And I'll be very short because, Walt, you're next, and here is the microphone for you.
Thank you, Margo. Good afternoon, everyone. I became a member of Rotary One in the last century. I first became aware of Jesse White through my mother, Sophia Stawicki. There's nothing salacious about this. Who was a Chicago Public High School English teacher. She had seen Jesse White Tumblers perform and heard Secretary White speak. She was impressed not only by his public service, but also by his dedication to the young people of Chicago by creating the Jesse White Tumbling Team in 1959. The partnership between Rotary and Jesse White Foundation is based on a dedication to community service and specifically to the youth of Chicago. As founder of the Jesse White Tumblers, he has provided over 20,000 members with the motivation to not only jump high, but to aim high. Our next speaker, Angela Spears, is a tumbler and founding partner of the Cass Law Group, with offices in Chicago, Detroit, and Scottsdale. She was recently selected as the 2022 Michigan Elite Lawyer. Her journey with Rotary One began with a scholarship to Loyola University of Chicago's John Felice Rome Center program in 2011. Therefore, it is my honor to introduce Angela Spears.
Ten years. Ooh, it's been a while. I didn't realize it was that long, but here we are. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction, and good afternoon. What an honor it is to be here today to honor someone who has had such an amazing impact on my life and the lives of thousands of others. A man who has spent the majority of his life selflessly serving others and inspiring others. A man of honor and integrity. The principles Secretary White instilled in me have been a guiding light in my life. The one I most associate with him is this one: do something good for someone else every day. It's what inspired me to become an attorney and serve our community. I started with the Jesse White Tumbling Team almost 20 years ago. And it was as a performance member that I developed my work ethic. For context, I was a preteen when I started, and getting up early was never my idea of a good time. But Jesse White, he showed us how to show up and put our best foot forward every time. From the outside, it may look like a group of young people, but before you see the tumbling experience, the performance, really start to understand that he took a group of young people that could have otherwise been doing anything else and transformed us into a high-performing, internationally recognized team. He created a family. He taught us self-respect, discipline, honor, and to show up for ourselves and for each other. For many of us, he is a role model. For many of us, he is a father figure. And he is a role model that not only models everything that he demands of us, he commands it. As a performance member and later as a Jesse White Scholar, I was awarded scholarships for college, graduate school, as well as law school. And it was because of the partnership with Jesse White Scholars Foundation, as well as Rotary One, that I was blessed with the opportunity to study abroad at the John Felice Rome Center. Now, the idea of studying abroad was just that. It was an idea. It felt more like a distant dream than an actual possible reality. And I'd like to take this moment to thank Miss Yvonne Jones, Mr. and Mrs. Stawicki, my mother, Lois White, no relation, and of course, Secretary White, for encouraging me to make my dreams into a reality. Not only did my semester abroad inspire my love of travel and connecting with people from around the world, it also showed me the power of stepping outside of my comfort zone and expanded my worldview. It's qualities that continue to serve me well to this day, both personally and professionally. It's been almost 20 years since becoming a Tumbler, and the people that I've met and the experiences that I've had continue to amaze me. Secretary White, Coach, thank you. Thank you for being a leader, a mentor, and a role model. It's been an honor.
Okay, so, well, now I would like to bring to the microphone Sarah Buck, who has something to tell you, Secretary White.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Buck, and I am the co-chair of the Community Service Committee with Wes Westerfield, who is also here joining us for lunch. And what our committee does is looks for very worthwhile projects in the city that we can help either get off the ground or help with funding in some way. And so for the past many years, we have provided funding for the Jesse White Trunk Party. For those who are unfamiliar with the Trunk Party, it is an annual event held in July where we come here and pack bags full of linens, there's towels, bed sheets, laundry detergent, all sorts of things that an incoming freshman would need to go to college. And then there's also maybe some computers, laptops, or iPads that have been raffled off or given out in some sort of lottery. So I am very excited to present today a check for $5,000 to help with the Jesse White Trunk Party for this year, 2022. Thank you.
Thank you.
I look better with a flash.
I think you look great regardless.
Thank you.
Yeah, all good.
You want to stand up here with me? Yeah, that's sure.
I'm not as tall as everybody else. Hi, my name is Alita Williams, and I am the president nominee for the Rotary Club of Chicago. And I get the distinct honor of introducing Secretary White. Because of Rotary is how I got to be able to know Secretary White. I could sit here and read his bio, which is extensive, and you can find it on Secretary of State website. So I'm going to let you all do that. But what I want to talk about is how much of an inspiration Secretary White has been to me, has been to our Job One program, and to people in the community. I remember doing my first Job One program and telling my grandmother that Secretary White was going to be there, and she was like, "You need to do well." You know, he does so much for the community. And I was hearing that from my 80-year-old grandmother at that time, and she was just so excited to have just to be there and to be a part, and to know that I was a part of an organization that supported that supported many of the things that Jesse White does in this city. And she often told people at church. She just loved to tell people about that. And it was an honor to be able to say that. And it's always an honor when I'm able to show people all 8 of my Jesse White t-shirts, because that's how many times I've done it. I get to say I could wear a different shirt every day of the week for the number of trunk parties that I have done with them and with Rotary. And just such a caring and outgiving person. When my mother passed, and he wrote a declaration and had it delivered for her funeral, it just touched my heart to know that he works with so many people, and for him to think about us and to think about my family in that time of need. But that just shows the wonderful person he is. And for that reason, it was just so important to our club and to me to be able to give him this lifetime membership award. I mean, yeah, honorary membership to our club. He used to be a member a long time ago, so I had to bring him back in. But at this moment, I want to give Secretary White a moment to speak.
Thank you very much, Alita. And to Ms. Buck, thank you for giving, thank you for caring, and thank you for making a difference. I'm surprised by what has transpired thus far, but before I begin with my remarks, my daughter Glenna, can you stand up? Her name used to be White as Jones now. And thank you very much, Angela, for those kind words. And to Walt, thank you for giving. And to Osei, thank you for your involvement. Madam President, Supreme Commander, the rule of all you survey, glad to have you on board. And to the members who are here, and a few more names I must, Mr. McGee, who is my head coach, the Jesse White tumbling team. Yvonne Jones, who is in charge of the Jesse White tumbling team. Yvonne, can you stand up? Megan Rudd, where are you? Jesse White Foundation. My good friend, Nafish Rahman. Whenever we need something, he's always there. And to Jody Stawicki. Jody, thank you for everything. And to all of you for your giving and caring spirit. I'm honored to have been the recipient of this wonderful $5,000 grant or award. It will help these young people to become better educated and better informed, to give them an opportunity to leave Chicago, going to a college of their choice, so they can become better educated, better informed. It's a win-win situation for all of us when it happens. I started out a long time ago. I was a teacher at the Schill Elementary School, which is not far from here. I went there as a student. I taught there for many, many years. I had the great pleasure of attending Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. Dr. King was my minister. You from Alabama State? Well, go Hornets. My neighbor, they say you're the man. And then Dr. King was my minister. And after every basketball game, he would meet with me and he would give me $20. At that time, to give up an athlete money, that was against the law. Well, then it was okay, but now it's against the law. And so he taught me a lot about helping my fellow man and woman and being the best that I could be. And he also reminded me too that in life, I always want you to look up and aim high, and the only time I want you to look down in life is to tie your shoes. I follow that philosophy. But a fellow by the name of George Dunn, who was the former president of the Cook County Board, asked me one day to seriously consider running for state representative. And I said, President Dunn, I like and enjoy knocking on doors, circulating petitions, and helping the candidates of our choice. But I don't think I would be a good lawmaker. So he said, well, I want you to think about it. Well, every weekend I used to go up to Schiff's Mountain in Macedonia, Michigan, and I'd go down this hill, and the hill was loaded with moguls, and I was unsuccessful for about 15 years. And so on this particular day, I went down 12 times without falling. I said, if I can handle this hill, I can certainly handle the political arena. So I came back and I told him that I would take on the challenge of running for the state representative in this district. So he said, great. I said, tell me, what is the racial makeup of the district? He says, it's just 85% white, 10% black, 5% others. I said, those are unbelievable odds. He said, you do fine. I said, can you tell me the community that this district represents? He said, Lincoln Park, DePaul, River North, Streeterville, the Gold Coast area, Magnificent Mile, and Cabrini Green. I said, that's like two strikes against me and a curveball coming up. He said, you'll do fine. So as it turned out, excuse me, they tell me when you belch like that, when it comes to the food, a leader, all is well. And so I served for 16 years as a state lawmaker. And then the party asked me to run for Cook County Recorder of Deeds. I ran and became successful. And then I went to Mike Madigan and asked him, did I create a problem in running for Secretary of State? And he said, yes, you do. I said, can you elaborate on that, sir? He said, well, all of the people who are running for the constitutional offices are from Cook County. We need someone from Southern Illinois or Central Illinois. And so if I were you, Jesse White, I would not seriously think about or consider running for Secretary of State. Well, let me cut to the chase. As it turned out, I ran and I won about 115,000 votes in the primary election, and then the general election won by 150,000. And so for the past 23 years, 23 and a half years, I've served as the Illinois Secretary of State, running the largest Secretary of State office in the United States. In my other life, I've had the great pleasure of being the coach and founder of the Jesse White Tumbler team. In college, I taught physical education, better yet, I taught gymnastics, and I played basketball and baseball. And so, as it turned out, when I came back to Chicago, I ended up playing professional baseball in the Cub organization, played 8 years for the Chicago Cubs. And then during my off season, I taught school in the day, worked for the Park District, and I was asked to put a gym show. And from the one gym show in December 1959, came to Jesse White Tumbler team. We are probably 63 years old as we speak. And we've had over 18,000 young people to come to the program. The young people have to maintain at least a C average in school. They have to be leafless, smokeless, and pipeless. They cannot practice pharmacy without a license. And they cannot dislike anyone because of race, creed, or color. That is zero tolerance. And then we also want our young people to know that if their grades fall below par, they have to maintain it. They have to take part in our tutoring program, which is handled by Miss Yvonne Jones and more. And so we've been able to save a lot of young people. We're proud of the fact, too, that every year we've been able to come with a trunk party every July. And I guess we have about 500 plus young people who've graduated from high school, who've committed themselves to going on to college. We've asked them to submit to us their high school diploma as well as their acceptance letter to college. And so we've been able to save, how long we had that program, Yvonne? 8 years, helping young people to go tall and straight. I'm losing my voice. I think I had the Coke over there, and the Coke was a bit too strong for me, I guess. The bottom line is this: I want to thank all of you for your giving and caring spirit and for helping this wonderful organization to move forward in its efforts to make this world a better place in which to live. We have Brandy Phillips. Brandy was at my school the other day. I have a school called the Jesse White Academy in Hazel Crest, Illinois. And we gave a lot of toys and a lot of educational equipment and books to these wonderful young people. So with that, I just want to thank you for being a part of this wonderful event today. I just hope that you too will continue to aspire the philosophy of life that I use every day. And as you have to do something good for someone. That's how I run my life. And so with that, thank you for giving, thank you for caring, and thank you for making a difference.
Secretary, thank you for making a difference and to share with us your philosophy of paying forward. So that's why, Alita will have the honor to pin you and make you a lifetime honorary member of our club, which means you can come every Tuesday to have lunch with us. And also there's a plaque here in your honor. Okay, so this is for you as well.
Thank you.
Want me to read, or would you like to read it, Alita? Okay, bueno.
That it the Rotary Club of Chicago proudly presents this honorary lifetime membership to Jesse White for his years of service to the community, youth, and country. Your dedication truly embodies the Rotary motto of service above self.
Thank you. All right, well, we continue with the program now. And Marcus, how are we doing with the sound? Well, I would like to now introduce the guests we have here at our lunch. So Let's start. Well, Angela, thank you so much for speaking with us. Yes, and can I see, would you tell us your name? Yes. Shall I go around with the microphone? Tell me how the tech works today? I know, I can't. It is wired. See, I won't be able to do this. Okay. So do we have any visiting Rotarians from other clubs? Yes, please tell us where. Okay, thank you for being with us today. And then any other guests? Well, I was talking with Stephen, who is sitting next to Shada. Could you tell us the name of your organization? Thank you very much. And the gentleman who just is standing up, he's like, no? Okay, who else is visiting us here? No, I think we're fine with introductions. Okay. What? Oh, I'm sorry, didn't see you. Hello, welcome. Hi.
I apologize for my tardiness. I actually went to the Union League Club. The only guest there. And so thank you, Jose, for directing me here. I just appreciate everything Secretary White has done. His whole career is so illustrious. There's so much that we all can learn, so much that we all can do to honor him for his hard work and dedication over the years. And so I'm so glad that we have chosen this day to really celebrate someone who is a living legend. My name is Brandy Phillips, and I'm the Executive Director of the Helping Hand Family Outreach. We have a program called Tied with Love. And our program supports the children of fallen officers, of military service persons, of veterans, first responders, and at-risk youth. And our program right now, it's called Ties of Love. We're showing young people how to tie their first necktie. And so with the help of Secretary White, we're making our way across all 102 counties in Illinois to show children it's important, especially in Central Steel, when young men are going for their first job interview, also for young ladies who may have a younger brother at home who they want to help you dress for church, or if they have a job where necktie is required, young ladies also need to learn how to tie a necktie. And so Secretary White is at the head of this program, he's the head of our dream team, and he's helping to coach us along so that the kids can learn about respect, being on time, being committed and dedicated. And so I just really appreciate Secretary White, all he's done for all these years to help so many people, and thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you were able to make it. All right, well, I have a few announcements here, but before those, I would like to make a special mention and thanks to Alita, who has catered this entire meal and organized this event. So, thank you, Alita, very much. Alita, as you know, in 2 years is going to be president of our Rotary Club of Chicago. So all of you guests, come back and then you will see her in action. All right, now I would like to thank those members of our club who served as chaperones for the CPS Opportunity Grant recipient, the Schubert Elementary School's field trips to the Shedd Aquarium and the Lincoln Park Zoo, and to the members who attend story time with the Prescott Elementary School. All right, Alita, would you like to have a quick words about Job 1?
Hello. So we have selected our wonderful students for this year. We have 26 great students that we started training with last Saturday. We're doing virtual and in person, trying to get back to some type of normal. But now we are wanting to make sure that we have enough jobs for our students. So we are looking for employers to be a part of our summer internship programs for our juniors and seniors. So if anyone is interested, please go to our website. But also, we have a great partnership with PAWS, and unfortunately, for all of our nonprofits, we reimburse 50% to any of our nonprofits that are employers. PAWS unfortunately cannot pay for interns, so we are looking for additional people who would like to sponsor the 2 students that PAWS are going to take this year on as interns. They had such a great experience last year that they called me up and was like, we're ready to take 2 more. So if anyone's also interested in being a sponsor for a student to work at PAWS or any nonprofit that you would like for them to work at, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Alita, very much. And yes, Wes?
It is $1,000 for the summer.
All right. Now I will tell you about our upcoming events. On Thursday, April 21st, we have a karaoke social. So start practicing, okay? And it is going to be, again, as a Café Ciao, which is a small cafe, very warm and cozy. So, come and join the fun. All right. And then the fee is $30 that will include an appetizer buffet and 1 drink. On our upcoming meetings, as you see on the screen, just check on the gyrator as well. We have our committee meetings as every month. So those of you who don't know about our club, we have an international services committee who works on global projects, meaning in other countries, and the projects are usually anchored in our club. We have a membership committee as well. So if those of you club members that are here would like to help Laura as well in this committee, everybody's invited to attend. And we have a PR and marketing committee as well. That has done extraordinary work this year, strengthening our presence in all our social media platforms. And we have the Community Service Committee, that is where Sarah and Wes are the co-chairs. And if you want to learn more about the CPS grants and the progress we're making and the impact, okay, you're invited to attend that meeting as well. Our next meeting on Tuesday, April 19th, we have as our guest who will come in person is Jen Parks, who is the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity. It is going to be a hybrid meeting, and as some of you may know, Habitat for Humanity and Rotary have been working together in many countries and in many areas in the United States. One thing that we're going to learn as well is the possibility of opportunities, for hands-on service projects with them here in Illinois. And on May 3rd at 5:30 p.m. for as you know, it is the first Tuesday of each month. We meet in the evenings. So those who are working during the day can join us. Angela, you should come also. Okay, and we are going to meet at the Bronzeville YMCA. So that is, what we have coming up now. Again, check the gyrator, which Shelby Hoffman is our magician. She does wonderful work with it. So make sure you read every week until the last page. And if you have questions or if there's information you would like to contribute to the gyrator, just send it to the office and we'll do that. All right, and now I would like to give you a quick update of what is happening in Ukraine. As you know, Rotary, our many clubs and districts here in the United States, we have all partnered with a pull together grants that the Rotary Foundation is offering for disaster aid relief. And at the same time, so we're getting funds from Rotary to purchase much needed medical equipment and supplies for the frontline combatants, both in the military and the civil ones. Just to give you an idea, as you may have seen in the news, not only Ukraine has the army with the largest number of women in anywhere in the world, but there are many in the civilian population that are volunteering. And one of the requests we had was for bulletproof vests and helmets for Rotarians who volunteer to go and pick up the wounded in bombed out buildings, or they're just, wounded in the streets. So Rotarians in Ukraine are wonderfully connected, and we get weekly requests with the needs from hospitals. So if there are things you would like to donate as well, we are pooling resources in our district to purchase some of the blood clotting gauzes and other, I'm just can't think of so many medicines as well. But we have a very large, as I said, many districts pulled together to have a large grant, and we are spending the first $75,000 in buying medicines, both in Austria and Germany, that is going to be transported by land to the border with Ukraine, and Rotarians on the other side are going to be receiving this cargo and distributing it within the country. As you know, at the risk of their own lives, because more than 50 hospitals have been targeted, unfortunately, by the invading Russian army. Now, another thing that we have done as well, we have partnered with Umana, an organization called Umana, which is the Ukrainian Medical Association of North America. And this is an organization of Ukrainian American and Ukrainian Canadian doctors that were doing educational exchanges with doctors in Ukraine. Since the war started, they switched immediately to provide medical aid. And that's what we have chosen to work on, because as you know, there are many organizations all over the world that are helping with furniture, places to stay, medical aid, support, and mental health support. But we saw that the need is so urgent due to the tremendous number of injured, wounded people that we're focusing on the aid for the hospitals. So Umana has received, I think by now, about 100 tons of donations who have been, but these are donations that the hospitals requested the things they need, and all this enormous cargo has been cost-free, really. But we originally were approached to cover the cost of a cargo plane to ship the first 50, 60 tons of aid. And a very generous donor approached Umana and said, look, I would like to offer the cost of sending 5 cargo planes. I'm talking jumbo size. I don't know if you've seen the pictures. So the first 5 cargo planes are, for us, they're going to be cost-free. So that's how we are able to put in this airplane the things that we are purchasing. And if you have friends also who would like to donate locally, we can have those things shipped by plane for free for the next few months. So there is one plane that was originally going to be loaded last night at 8 o'clock, then it was 11 o'clock, then it was midnight, and we were going to go there with photographers from RI, Rotary International, to bring Rotarians and Umana people. Well, the last call was last night saying, the loading of the plane is going to start at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we said, okay, we're going to go and be there for the next cargo plane. So we'll let you know when that happens. But, Betsy and Shada, you're chairs of the International Services Committee, so I hope they load the plane at a decent time. Yes. Yeah, many of us. So in the middle of all this horror, well, if you don't know what to do, at least pray for peace, because this is, Secretary, we were talking earlier today, it is incomprehensible what is happening. And if we want to learn courage. We just have to look at the Ukrainian people. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions or any ideas, please, how to reach me. Okay, so now we have time to chat a little bit. Oh, well, let me tell you one other meeting that is going, 2 weeks from now, our speaker is going to be Jim Long, who is the executive director of the Chicago Collections Consortium. It is going to be a hybrid meeting. Did I say that, or I think I skipped it? And then we're going to have the first May meeting, as I said, at the Bronzeville YMCA. So we have some time. So Secretary White, I was wondering if anybody in our audience would have more questions, if you would like to answer them. So I have one question to ask you. So how did the idea of the Tumblers originated?
As a youngster, I went to Seward Park, which is about 4 blocks from here. German fellow by the name of Vince Schoenfelder was the instructor, and he taught me gymnastics. And then later on, I majored in physical education at Alabama State University. I went through college playing basketball, baseball, and teaching gymnastics. And I didn't have to pay a dime for my education. And so I realized the fact that I was blessed with being able to go through college without having to pay. And so I decided I would establish, well, better yet, let me go back. I worked for the Park District when I was in college. That was during the off season, during the summer months. And I was asked to pull in a gym show, and from the one gym show in December 1959, came the Jesse White tumbling team. We are, as I said before, 63 years old, and we've traveled all over the world: Zagreb, Croatia, Belize, Israel, China, Tokyo, Japan, Hong Kong, Honolulu, Hawaii, Hawaii, just to name a few. And then, of course, colleges and universities, block parties, street festivals, the list goes on and on. That's how we have been able to help these young people to use idle time in a positive way and stay away from gangs, drugs, and those negative aspects of life. We have strict rules and regulations: no drinking, smoking, swearing, or dropping out of school, or disliking anyone because of race, creed, or color. I played professional baseball in the club organization. And of course, I experienced a segregated environment because I was in the minor leagues. And so I realized how tough things were racially. And so I said that to my young people, you cannot ever dislike anyone because of race, creed, or color. Then when I went to Alabama State University, I experienced segregation again and discrimination. I learned too that, again, that's the wrong thing to do to another human being. So I remind our young people to love their fellow man and woman and do all they can to make this world a better place in which to live. And of course, the Rotary Club, I just want to applaud them and thank you for your commitment to society and to helping this world be a better place for all of us. I did 35 jumps out of perfectly airplanes with the 101st Airborne Division. You never worry about the jump, it's always a sudden stop. When I was in the service, Vice President Nixon was being spat upon and stoned in Caracas, Venezuela. And my unit was asked to go airborne, or not asked, directed to go airborne, to go to Caracas and quell the unrest. Excuse me, so our Vice President would be out of harm's way. We got over the Gulf of Mexico and turned around and came back to Fort Campbell. And as we were approaching Fort Campbell, we were told that it's going to be a night jump. We had never jumped out of an airplane at night. So with the 10 aircraft, all of us were successful in our jump out of a perfect good airplane. And one day when I was jumping, I looked down below me and I saw a river I thought was a river. So I hit my quick release and I grabbed my risers and I was hanging on to them, thinking that I was going to land in some water. And as it turned out, I see this car coming along. And I said, wait a minute, that's a road. And in the South, whenever during the summer months when the roads got dusty, they would spray oil on the roads in order to keep down the dust. And I was about to buy the farm. So that's probably one of the most tragic situations that I've experienced. Any more questions? I'm pretty good with how many barks in the dog, how many bubbles there in the bar soap. So the tumbling team has been around, as I said before, about 63 years. And we're helping these young people to realize their dreams, travel, they generate financial, the monies that we generate from our shows go right to the kids. And then, of course, we have sponsors. The sponsorship funds will go toward helping us to meet our overhead. We have about 10 vans. We're looking at about 40 parades on the 4th of July. We're trying to work it out so we can do most of them, if not all of them. And it's a way of helping our young people to see this wonderful world of ours, travel and meet people from diverse ethnic backgrounds, and help them to understand that there's this big, wide, wonderful world out there. If they are to fit into it properly, we want them to become better educated, better informed, and figure out a way to love their fellow man and woman and never ever dislike anyone because of race, creed, or color. That is the ugliest card in the deck. Been there, done that, know that, experienced it. But let me tell you a quick story then. So I'm playing for San Antonio, Texas. That's AA. It's 2 steps away from the major league. So a fellow by the name of Paul Casanova, who's Cuban, catcher for the Cubs, and I were required to live with a private family, a black family. We could not live in the same hotel with the rest of the ball players. So we were going out for breakfast. We entered this restaurant. We sat, no menu, no food, no service. So I said, Paul, let's go. Levante said to me, stand up, let's go. No service. And so as I'm walking out the door, complaining about the fact that I had served in the military, I'm an American citizen, and they would not serve me, or they would not serve you, either one of us. And so I looked back and Paul was sitting down with a menu in his hand. So, oh, he cut a deal for us. So I went to sit down, and the fellow said, "We will serve him. We will serve him, but not you. And either your food is coming up on me, but that means all is well." And I took offense to that. Here I am, an American citizen, a former vet, served paratrooper, National Guardsman, reservist, 10 years in military, and I could not sit down in a restaurant to eat, but yet here's a guy from Cuba who couldn't speak English, but yet you served him. I was pretty hot. I was about as red as that Coca-Cola can there. So I teach my young people that they cannot ever play that card. That's ugly. Love your fellow man and woman, and do all you can to make this world a better place in which to live. So any more questions about anything? I run the largest Secretary of State office in the United States. 4,000 employees, a $396 million budget, 138 offices, 23 agencies, corporate files and securities, keeping the seal code of claims. The head librarian with 5,000 libraries, and I visited 2,700 of those libraries. I have 138 offices where you can come in to get your driver's license, sticker, state IDs. And for the ladies who are here, I'm in your purse, and for the men, I'm in your wallet. Your driver's license or your state ID. Any questions? Yes.
What are your plans for the transition from the position of Secretary?
I'm going to continue to work with the Jesse White Tumblers. That's, as I said, 63 years now, until I will no longer be a part of this world.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I mean, do you know how lucky we are? So it's so great to have you, and we want to see you. Now, hopefully, you're going to have more time to join us when we have very, good speakers, which we usually do in our club. But also, Osei, I think, would like to invite you to his club as well. So, Yes, yes. No, Jose, thank you so much for introducing the secretary as well. Yvonne, it's great to see you as well. I met your youngest brother. Where are you? Hey there. Hello there. And all right, well, I think we can close the meeting now. And, I'll be happy to read the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. And we can all stand up. It is a philosophy that joins us as Rotarians all over the world. So, number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Number three, will be goodwill and better friendships? And number four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And many clubs have the number five. It shall be fun. Yes, and that's not a question. Okay, thank you all very much. Yes. All right, well, thank you all, and I'll see you next week.